Manufacture a part. Sorry for the loss in communication. We continue with the advantages of why we need to make components of our raw materials in-house. So the first reason is that it will lower our cost. And then we can only decide to make things in-house if it lowers our cost. Then in-house production, point number two, in-house production makes sense when substantial investments in specialized assets whose value is contingent upon a particular relationship are required to manufacture a component. So like if the assets which are required within the assets which are required in making a final product, if they show a substantial or they have a higher relationship with the products that you are already using, there would be a prompt urgency to you to decide to start making those things yourself, because it will be very costly every time when you want to make a final product of something. You have to go, you have to go, you have to go on an international scene. Number three, protecting proprietary technology. In-house production can make sense to maintain control over the technology. So like if you're making the things yourself that you use in production of a final product, you'll be able to control the technology, unlike elsewhere, because that technology that you can be using elsewhere is not within your full capacity and is not under your obligations to make decisions over it. And then improving scheduling. In-house production can make planning, coordination, and scheduling of adjacent processes easier. So like you don't have to do things because you have to stop at a given time interval. But you'll be able to adjust in your planning because those things you're making them yourself. That is a factor that is going to cause you to decide into making the things or making the components of the parts that you're going to be using in the production of a raw material into a final product. So we also have advantages of buy. We also have advantages of buy. We also have advantages of buy. Buying component parts from independent suppliers. This gives the firm greater flexibility. By buying component parts from independent suppliers, the firm can maintain its flexibility, switching orders between suppliers as a circumstance dictates. So like, if you're faced with a challenge as you are carrying out your business process, you'll be able to decide not to continue with a transaction that you wanted to do because you're able to switch orders. Let's say you wanted to order things from, you wanted to get parts from Zimbabwe, and then you are faced with a circumstance that requires you to order things from Congo. You'll be able to switch because there's flexibility there. You get the products that you need elsewhere. This is particularly important when changes in exchange rates and trade barriers alter the attractiveness of various supply sources over time. So like, for example, if I thought there's no good exchange rate between Zambia and Zimbabwe, yes, you'll be able to quickly switch. You'll be able to decide not to continue trading that side. You trade elsewhere where you see that your exchange rate is going better. So number two, an advantage of buy, helps drive down the firm's cost structure. Firms that buy components from independent suppliers avoid the challenges involved with coordinating and controlling the additional subunits that are associated with vertical integration. So like your your management process, it becomes so decentralized, becomes uh, the stages become complex and it becomes very difficult with coordination. Hence, the cost structure can be reduced if at all you are buying them from elsewhere. The lack of incentive associated with internal suppliers, the difficulties with setting appropriate transfer prices. Then number three, helps the firm capture orders from international customers. So like, unlike producing your for yourself, there can be an international opportunity that you might want to capture. And if you decide to buy today, you can make that decision and be able to capture an international customer at the end of the day. Trade-offs. So if you are given choice A and B, you decide to go for A, then your trade-off is B. So the choice that we forego, or the choice that we do not take, or an opportunity cost, that is something we can relate to as a trade-off. A choice that you've given up for another choice. So the benefits of manufacturing components in-house are greatest when highly specialized assets. So like this trade-off is now between make and buy. Are you going to trade off buy, or are you going to trade off make? Those are the trade-offs we are still looking at. So the benefits of manufacturing components in-house are greatest when highly specialized assets are involved. Vertical integration is necessary for protecting proprietary technology. The firm is more efficient than external suppliers at performing a particular activity. The strategic alliances with suppliers. Sometimes firms can capture the benefits of vertical integration without, which is the making, without the associated organizational problems by forming long-term strategic alliances with key suppliers. However, these commitments may actually limit strategic flexibilities. Sorry, I am a bit fast because I have to be done with the slides. I think we have 5 more slides. Managing a global supply chain. A supply chain is a network of facilities and activities that performs the functions of product development, procurement of materials from suppliers, the movement of materials between facilities, the manufacturing of products, the distribution of finished goods to customers, and after-market support for sustainment. So this definition can be found in this book, Mabat and Venkataraman, 1998. Then, the objective of global supply chain management are to manage a global supply chain at the lowest possible cost and in a way that best serves the customer. To maintain the firm, establish a competitive advantage, superior customer service. The role of just-in-time system. The basic philosophy behind just-in-time system is to economize on inventory holding costs by having materials arrive at a manufacturing plant just in time. The production process and not before. So this is the pictorial representation of a just-in-time example. Receive customer orders, schedule production, receive materials just in time for production, complete parts just in time for assembly, and then complete products. just in time to ship to customers. Just-in-time systems generate major cost saving from reduced warehousing and inventory holding. So inventory, these are stocks that we can hold. If you manufacture something and just in time you sell it off, it will reduce the cost associated to inventory holding. Just-in-time systems can help the firm spot defective parts and take them out of the manufacturing process to boost product quality. However, a just-in-time system leaves the firm with no buffer stock of inventory to meet unexpected demand. So if you're not holding any stock, there are some demands that can come promptly, and if you're not holding any stock, it will become very difficult for you to attend to the shift in demand. Uh, Supply chain and the internet. Web-based information systems play a crucial role in materials management. Because of the internet, firms are able to conduct many more global comparisons among suppliers and select from a wider variety of choices. When customers have the ability to access a company through the internet, the company must be prepared for 24-hour order taking and customer service. For all countries, but particularly in developing nations, the issue of universal access to internet is crucial. So we've seen that with the current economic situations, most transactions are being carried out on the internet. Electronic data interchange facilitates the tracking of inputs. It allows the firm to optimize its production schedule, lets the firm and its suppliers communicate in real time, eliminates the flow of paperwork between the firms. So we see that when we are using internet, things become easy and manageable because we are going to reduce on the paperwork, and it is easy for you to quickly search for things or the materials that you could want through the internet. Thank you very much for your attendance for today's class, and we were looking at global manufacturing and materials management. Thank you very much.